Hey guys, welcome back to the Way of Peace. It's week 6, celebration in community. And for this video, I wanted to invite Pastor Jeff Starr. Here's the reason: we're talking about encouragement tonight. Pastor Jeff, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me, you guys. This has been so rich. And Jason, I just want to tell you what an incredible
Hold on, just a
job
second.
you're doing.
I'm going to stop you right there. Are you trying to encourage me right now?
Well, just a little
No,
bit.
no.
I just got to.
Let's hold that thought here, because we are not
this has
here
been
to
so-
encourage me. Thank you.
But it's been so.
Thank you. We are going to talk about encouragement for all of you. And I want to get inside your head a little bit, because you are so good at this, and this is such a natural thing for you. And I think that encouragement, it seems to be a pretty big emphasis in the New Testament, right?
Yeah,
We see that word and that concept over and over again.
Yeah.
And I think this is something we're called to in terms of celebrating one another. So I want to ask you to help us with this. First of all, how do you see encouragement? How do you define that word?
Excellent. Yeah, the beauty of encouragement is that the root word is courage. And so encouragement has the idea of actually imparting courage to somebody else through maybe the words that we speak or something that we invite them into. There's a discovery there, I think, that takes place when we give or deliver encouragement to somebody else. And that discovery is really discovering some of the intrinsic value that God has placed within them in the beautiful gifts that He's given to them, really to experience life and life abundantly, and to help others experience life and life abundantly. And so there's this impartation of courage to actually discover and then live out God's beautiful design of taking those gifts and using them in a really fun way to inspire others.
So this is different than giving somebody a compliment. This
Right,
isn't
yeah,
about puffing
correct.
them up.
Right,
It's about
yeah.
something more. You like to use the term finding gold.
Oh yes, yeah. It's like a fun treasure hunt, but it is finding the gold. That gold is the beautiful deposit that God placed within each one of us that's very unique and special for each one of us. And that is some of those natural gifts that we carry, some of those natural passions even that we carry. And then discovering those and learning how to even put them into use sometimes. That can be part of that encouragement piece.
Yeah. Actually, it's interesting. You have this mug with you today.
My favorite mug.
We were getting a hard time about our red mugs and how we so rarely actually took a drink from them. It's because these take like 5 takes sometimes, and by then your coffee's cold or drank already. This it's a NASA mug, and it says, "It is rocket science," because this is the way you
simple.
roll.
Yes.
Being a
Rocket science,
nerd.
simple.
Now, encouragement is not rocket science.
No, it's
so
not,
for the rest
yeah.
of us, it is simple. So as we're looking at this with one another, we tend to overcomplicate so many things, and encouragement is one of them. You do this really well with the teams that you coach. Like, I think of like middle school track. How do you approach it with middle school track and cross country?
Yeah, excellent question. Being a middle school coach, first of all, we're getting those young athletes that are coming in, and they really haven't even fully discovered yet some of their natural giftings. And so being that middle school coach, we have the opportunity to really watch each different athlete and help them, first of all, discover what maybe those natural giftings are. And then in that, even helping them along the journey a little bit to find some courage in that. Because they're kind of at the low rung of the ladder right now. You know, we watch the Olympics and we see these guys that are elite athletes, and it's easy to see their gifting. But sometimes these young athletes, as they first come in, a little bit awkward and different things, and they don't always know, and we don't even know yet what that gift might be. But as we watch, we can begin to find that beautiful gold that's within them. And then we begin to help them on that journey of uncovering that gold, exercising it. And one way that we do that is we use something called personal records. And so when they first come in, they may try an event out, and that in that event, they may not, they get their first mark. And then the next week, they practice, and then all of a sudden, they excel beyond that mark, and they do better than they did the week before. And then we as a team come back together. We get a chance to share with one another some of those new achievements.
You celebrate that together.
And then we
You
all
celebrate
of a
the person
sudden have
together.
this incredible celebration. And the beauty that comes out of that is that all of a sudden, this young athlete now has, first of all, seen an achievement, but then they get inspired to want to even go further, and they want to inspire others to do the same.
Yeah. So you've given them courage to be even more bold in this pursuit.
Yes, it creates a confidence and a boldness, yeah.
So bringing it back then to our context as a Christian community, and what we do is we do kind of the same thing, right?
Correct,
To
yeah.
look for the gold. Where has the Lord gifted a person, and where have you been blessed, or as you would say, where have you been inspired by this person? And to begin to look for those things and to call them out. And it's not only to make them feel good, although we of course want that.
Sure.
But it's also that they might actually find new courage and be, oh my goodness, I didn't know that. Like you have a real pastoral heart. That might be something like that.
that's a good
And like
example,
I
yeah.
actually didn't realize that I was good at that. And you can say, yes, indeed, you are. And to be specific, right,
Yeah,
in their lives, and to tell them that, and that they might have courage then to exercise that gift even more.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's one of the starting points even, is just be really watching for those moments when maybe someone steps into your life and somehow inspires you. Don't look past that. Actually remind them of the inspiration they brought through that beautiful exercise of that gift. Or maybe you hear a story from somebody else who shares with you how somebody has inspired them. Well, feel free to bring that story to that person and how they inspired somebody else.
And I love this story idea because, sometimes the vague encouragements aren't actually all that helpful. Like,
Right.
hey, you're such a nice person. Well, thank you. I don't really know what to do with that or what you're talking about. But as you begin to be specific in your observations, or specific in what you've seen from somebody or how they've affected you, that can actually be a very helpful thing.
Oh, yes, very much so. Yeah.
So as you guys are going to actually practice this right now with one another, and you're going to have one of these like uncomfortable things where people are going to encourage you and you're going to encourage them. So
Yeah,
as
let
you
me
do
demonstrate real quick.
Nope.
Just
Nope. You're not going to demonstrate. So as you do this, be specific. Look for the gold and celebrate one another. Yeah. And you know what? The thing I love about this guy, he doesn't feel like, oh, I've got to pull back, as you can see. Don't feel like you have to pull back. It's okay to celebrate, to really celebrate one another in community. Don't worry about somebody's head getting big. Just celebrate them. Just love one
Yes,
another. It's
right.
gonna, for some of you, it's super easy. For some, it's harder because you maybe a little bit more reserved. But I just want to encourage you guys to encourage freely.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Very
Anything
much
you
so.
want to add?
I think so. I would just add this little thing. Don't feel like it has to be grandiose. It can be the smallest little thing that you just want to highlight in that person. But that little seed of encouragement that you sow may grow into a mighty plant later on.
That's good. So have fun with this, guys, and have fun with the assignment for later this
Yeah.
week as you're going to seek to encourage some other people outside your immediate circle. Thanks so much. Thank you for joining us, Pastor Jeff, and we love you guys.